don't make Adam McGill mad. At the season opener of the AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Series, he led every lap until the last turn. So at round 2, he came back with a vengeance at the General GNCC in Georgia and scored a resounding victory. Now he wants 2 in a row. It's Racer TV, all racing all the time, and today we are racing at the picturesque Steel Creek Campground in Morganton, North Carolina, one of the venerable stops on this circuit these days. It's the AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Series presented by Maxxis and AMA National Championship. Let's get right to it. Ricky Towery, our official starter in Turn 1, and our Pro ATV riders on the line and ready to duke it out here in the mountains of North Carolina. Oh, and I thought McGill had the whole shot there. He got hung up. From AMSOIL coming the way of the young kid. And look at them scramble through the woods here at Steel Creek. And one of the things to keep in mind, we've been racing here for so long. It's the 16th running of this event. Trails are pretty well established, and there are multiple lines in every corner, or nearly every corner. Wolf putting the power down and getting away on the number 14. Hey, how about Brent Sturdivant in second right now on the all-black machine? Whenever Brent shows up for one of these things, he is quick. Chris Borich just came by, Chris Bithell. And here is McGill, who very nearly had that whole shot before getting tangled up. The rest of the crew coming through. There's Kevin Yoho. Sturdivant. Is he in the lead, or has Landon Wolf already come through? Got Jared McClure right behind him. Then Jay Shadron. Look at the number 1 on the front of that Yamaha Borich. That is so hard to get used to after so many years of domination on the Suzuki, switching this year. Borich third at the opener in Florida, but then problems last time out and finished a lowly 12th in Georgia, so he has work to do in the points. Sturdivant, McClure, Shadron on this FMF PowerPoint uphill. Borich Bithell, that has pushed Landon Wolf back a little bit, and I think I saw McGill getting into the mix as well. And there's still Kevin Yoho, the BNR Racing, that's what we're going to call it for now, machine, right at the back of that train. So every one of these riders in the hunt. Look at this pack. Sturdivant still leading the way over McClure, Shadron. And these field sections, they've been laid out like this for a long time, and we have seen some passes out here. In fact, more often you'll see passes in these switchbacks than you will in the woods. Even with as many lines as there are in the woods, a lot of times these races come down to these final sections. So right now, Sturdivant dealing with the hot breath of McClure, who is on the ATVRiders.com JMR Honda. Then it's Shadron, backed by Coastal Drilling and Waynesburg Yamaha, followed by Borich, Bithell. McGill continues to move forward. Where is Walker Fowler, who won our opener in Florida? Not a good start to the race for him. Here comes our buddy Johnny Gallagher coming through. Johnny G, who helps out on the Racer TV broadcast on the bike side. Got that lead group in sight. Still tight up here as Sturdivant leads the way. I feel like McClure in second is just waiting for an opening, because look at the traffic. Like I said, all the way back to Gallagher, which is about 10th place. These riders can see each other. So if anyone can make a move right now, it's really going to help. A little gap built up with this train. And now McClure has gotten the lead. Like I said, you can see how close he was to that rear grab bar and the rear tires of Sturdivant. He wanted to go. McClure, very consistent, lots of podium finishes, but has never won a GNCC overall. Could that change today? He's put himself in position. We got a long way to go. Racer TV is brought to you by AMSOIL and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Hey folks, Jason Wygant here, your host. GNCC Racing, Jared McClure in the lead. at the FMF Steel Creek GNCC. Jay Shadron trying to keep him in sight. Here comes Chris Borich, Brent Sturdivant, and Adam McGill. He's the one making the moves. He's trying to get to fourth now after getting tangled up in turn one. Bryson Neal keeping everyone in check right at the end of this train. So this lead group, probably about half the size it was earlier. And that's the difference. Once McClure got the lead, it started to stretch back out. Shadron trying to keep him in sight and actually has taken the lead. So well done, Jay Shadron, the youngster, second year of the pro class, now has the lead from McClure. And the pace has really picked up. Landon Wolf, not sure what happened to him. He was our early leader, lost a little bit of ground. Then Sturdivant picked it up, then McClure, and now point position being held by Shadron. Here he is. And opening up a little bit of distance on McClure. Borich third, fourth McGill, then Bithell. This, I think that's Fowler there on the number 2, but not the typical charge you'd expect to see from the kid. Then it's Yoho. Well, Shadron has definitely learned a lot coming up through the GNCC ranks. He used to race the youth series, and he is learning a ton today when you have big hitters like this behind you and a pretty wide open series championship, so everyone is extra motivated early here in 2015. Well, he's going to have to deal with a ton of pressure from riders that know how to win these races. So I say even if Shadron can't hold them off forever, every minute or so, every mile that he continues to hold on, that's big for him. Oh, a little mistake. That allows McClure to get right back to the grab bar of Shadron. But this is how you learn. You can go all the way back to Chris Borich, who's the man in this series these days. He had to have similar scenarios, had to learn how to lead and then turn those leads into wins. It is not easy in a 2-hour race where there's so much strategy involved. Shadron says right now, forget the strategy. I'm going to go wide open and just see how long I can lead. But McClure still has him in sight. Look at the battling back there. Borich and McGill, third and fourth. McGill has made a ton of passes, and he wants to make more. And I think every one of these riders smells blood in the water. Because McGill, well, he won round 2, nearly won round 1. We haven't quite seen the classic Chris Borich level this year. So I think these guys know the title. If they're ever going to get Chris Borich, it could be this season. He's transitioning from the Suzuki to the Yamaha. Obviously still riding well here in the number 3 spot. But these riders need to strike while they can. And still kind of waiting on that strike from Fowler, who's at the back of this group. Oh, and Borich has slipped past McClure. So just as quickly as McGill put the heat on, Borich responded, made a pass. He's now got a little buffer to go after your leader. Racer TV is brought to you by AMSOIL and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Battling it out here in the woods of the FMF Steel Creek GNCC, and the time continues to tick off, and more experience for Jay Shadron, the young rider out of Pennsylvania, looking to have 2 laps led today of what should be a 4-lap race. Jared McClure led lap 1, and he's still in it. Going to be a fight for the win and points today with this title up for grabs. Look out, we got a rider stuck on the hill. See how Shadron handles this. Well, luckily they got him off of the main line. Oh, but Fowler tried that line actually to make a pass. He got around Bithell using that line and almost came into the rider on the side of the track. And now Yoho must have made a mistake. He has lost the group. There's Bryson Neal coming through next. I believe that's Barry Hawk, by the way, the official on the side of the track helping the rider, the all-time great of GNCC ATV racing. Oh, this is going to get good. McGill has gotten McClure. You saw that in our last shot. So McGill and Borich keep creeping their way forward. Fowler has responded to that. He's gotten around Yoho. He's gotten around Bithell. Those 3 veterans are fighting behind the kid, Shadron, who's going to try to make the move first. And look at how much the intensity is picked up. They are in the air as much as they are on the ground, just bouncing through these sections. A totally different race than on lap 1, but look at Shadron pulling back away. He's got about 5 lengths between himself and Borich, so the young kid not intimidated at all. Took 4th at our last race in Georgia, and that beat his career best from last year, which was a 5th, so he's on the rise. And it's just so hard to figure out the timing. You know these young talents are going to figure it out. It's just a matter of when, and it could be today. I mean, Borich and McGill are on the gas, and they are not making up ground. Shadron holding his own and not holding anyone up. And look at Yoho. Has caught right back up to this group after the mistake, right behind Bithell and Fowler. And indeed, Shadron is going to lead his second lap today. He led lap 2, leads lap 3, and goes into the last lap with the lead. Are we going to see some history in a first-time win today? Racer TV is brought to you by AMSOIL and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Oh, so much pressure on Jay Shadron on the Waynesburg Coastal Drilling Yamaha. He has 2 veterans, McGill and Borich, all over him on the last lap here at the FMF Steel Creek GNCC. And yes, that's a flip-flop of the order. McGill has gotten around Borich. Worked on him the entire race. Rest of the crew coming through. Yoho still trying to break his way into the top 5. And Shadron still holding the lead. Oh, Borich had a line, almost got McGill for second. Then it's McClure coming through next. And now we see McGill emerging with the lead. So they finally got the young kid Shadron to crack. Shadron is just 18 years old, second place. Lost a little bit of ground on the leader, but a podium finish would be great as well. McClure, by the way, is in front of everyone in that group. He is ahead of Borich and Bithell, and Walker Fowler has lost a bunch of ground. CST, PirateMX.com, Lone Star, and DeRisi Racing back McGill, looking for 2 wins in the first 3 rounds this year, and he has put huge distance. That's a lap rider between himself and everyone else, and it is Borich who reemerges in second. Shadron back to 3rd. Bithell right behind him. Just as quickly as McClure made up ground, he lost it. He's at the back of that group. And how about this? McGill's lead is so big, he is just cruising on the last lap. This is a Chris Borich type performance. Waiting to the last lap, making the move, and no one able to match him. Borich back in second, but that's usually how he wins these races. And strange to not see Fowler up here attacking. Must be a problem for him today on the NFAB Ampro Yamaha. Well, I guarantee you, McGill's not going to ask questions about this. He'll be more than happy to get away from these riders and further extend that points lead. But good work for Borich here today. Was in position all day long. He's not probably going to get McGill unless McGill has trouble. However, it's a sign of life. 2 podiums in the first 3 rounds for him with the big brand switch. Certainly a great ride for Shadron there in 3rd, but he's literally and figuratively not out of the woods. McClure, the number 4, is 4th and is keeping the heat on. He would love a podium. Here we go, checkered flag coming out. Adam McGill. Oh, so close to winning the first 3 rounds this year. He avenges the loss in round 1 by taking rounds 2 and 3. And Chris Borich going to stay in the title hunt all season long as he adjusts to his new Yamaha. Takes his Maxxis SSI flyback machine to 2nd. And now the fight for the podium. This is going to be one to watch. Get out of the way, everybody. McClure is all over Shadron. Is looking for his first top 3. Little mistake in the last corner. No room for McClure, though. Wide open through the finish, and McClure comes up just short. You see him nod his head, not happy about that. Wanted the podium. Congrats out to Shadron. He gets it done. And Bryson Neal coming up and getting Walker Fowler. Valuable championship points lost for the number 2 Yoho, a great ride. Merritt, Goings, and Johnny G round out the top 10. Here's your AMSOIL race recap. Landon Wolf, your AMSOIL whole shot, led early. Quickly had problems, and that allowed Brent Sturdivant to take the lead, but you knew the big hitters were coming. What we maybe didn't know that Jay Shadron would be the cream rising to the top, ahead of Chris Borich, Adam McGill, Fowler, McClure, Bithell, and the established stars. And he led into the last lap when McGill scratched and clawed his way up to second after a bad start, then took the lead and took off. Borich solid for the day in second, but Shadron, down to the wire, holds on for third. Thanks for watching from Steel Creek.